Thank you, Leslie. Good evening, everybody. Well, my choice for tonight is John Newlove, who was born in Regina in 1938, raised in various small Saskatchewan towns, mainly Kamsack, Saskatchewan. He attended the University of Saskatoon for 1 year before embarking on an extensive tour around Canada. Newlove had a very varied work history. He was, for a very short time, a high school teacher in Birtle, Manitoba, a social worker in Yorkton, Saskatchewan. He worked in radio in Weyburn and Regina, and held various laboring jobs in British Columbia and Saskatchewan. Between 1970 and 74, he was an editor at McClellan and Stewart in Toronto, and writer-in-residence at various universities, among them Loyola College in Montreal and the University of Toronto. He was one of the first writers-in-residence also at the Regina Public Library. His collection, Lies, won the 1972 Governor General's Award for Poetry. His other honors include awards from the Literary Press Group and the Saskatchewan Writers Guild. He died suddenly in Ottawa on December 23, 2003, at age 65. And since 2004, Bywords Quarterly Journal has honored him with its John Newlove Poetry Award, given to a poet each year whose work is selected from the pages of that journal. Now, a little bit about his poetics. John Newlove did not leave much sort of in the way of theoretical statement about his own work. To a beginning writer, he offered this comment: "Phrases come into my mind, usually more interesting for their rhythms than for what they say. And sometimes they can ignite an entire set of rhythms: poetic, dramatic, horizontal, the line, perpendicular, the stanza, and the whole piece. And at that time it becomes important that I find the meaning of what is said as well, and make it as plain as I can. Sometimes it is not plain at all. There remains a shimmering or a veil or a hint of magic about which it is impossible to be more explicit." Douglas Barber has written of Newlove's poetics: "He unsentimentally explored the existential roots of contemporary despair. Yet alongside his evocation of loss, self-hatred, and self-pity, envy, and anger, his poems offer moments of compassion, ecstasy, and occasionally even pure joy. Overemphasis on the fear and loathing in his poems ignores the rich wit, irony, and humor, the affirmations of which to be found in the scrupulous honesty of his bare-bones poetic." And finally, in his afterwords to the 2007 Newlove collection, A Long Continual Argument, Vancouver poet and essayist Jeff Dirksen suggests this: "Perhaps John Newlove is a modernist poet of a belated Canadian modernism, whose writing carefully catches the effects of modernization through the tropes of isolation, alienation, and social fragmentation. Certainly in the representations of the city and of the administration of society, moving from a more tightened down, determined view to a deadly, dry, humorous take, as in It's Winter in Ottawa, which I'll read in a minute, this modernist view takes hold. But in Newlove's work, it is not a general cultural condition, but the conditions of capitalism and the effects of wage labor, and its flip side, unemployment." So I'd like to read two of his poems. It's Winter in Ottawa, which I mentioned a minute ago. "The streets are full of overweight corporals, of sad, gray computer captains, the impedimenta of a capital city struggling through snow. There is a cold gel on my belly. An instrument is stroking it incisively. The machine in the half-lit room is scribbling my future. It is not illegal to be unhappy. A shadowy technician says alternately, breathe, and you may stop now. It is not unreasonable to be unhappy. The second poem is one of my favorite New Love poems. God bless the bear. How many of them die of old age? They die of the tension of not knowing, the apprehension. Fear sits in their guts. Thus the courage, the quickness, the shyness of a deer asking, "Are you my death?" The gopher taking one last look. I want to know what my death looks like, no matter how fast it comes. Or the bear. God bless the bear. Arthritic as me, doing its death clown act on two legs, ready to embrace, saying, "I'm just you in funny clothes. Your clothes are funny too. Let's wrestle, my little man, my little son, nay, little death, my brother." Thank you.